From the Jackson County Health Department, we have Emergency Preparedness Coordinator, Stephanie Baker. Good morning.
Good morning. I want to thank you for our emergency preparedness folders that you've brought us.
Yeah, that was something I decided to put together this year just for staff. It's got resources from websites that are easy to get to, but just to kind of bring it all together, because sometimes it can seem overwhelming and lots of information out there.
So it's National Preparedness Month.
Yeah.
What are some things we should be doing?
Well, I think if you evaluate what might be the risks or hazards in your area, I think maybe people learned after the fire on North Street that you want to pay attention to even buildings and where there might be chemicals and things like that could have an impact on your own local residents and that type of thing too.
Yeah, what's interesting about that fire is so many different factors. Middle of the day, lunchtime, school was a half day, people driving to look at it. You really did, if you lived in that area, you really should have had a plan.
That's a good point too. I think about other places, like I worry about the old Michener plant. I mean, that is just overflowing with contaminants, and it's just 2 blocks from where I live.
Right.
We need to know that stuff's there.
You had a great visual. I was enjoying
your sky cam.
Yes, to be able to see the fire, to kind of know what was going on, and good location that way. But I know a lot of people downtown that not knowing for sure what direction is it going to go. Will there be any explosions? And the city of Jackson did a great job of alerting people and getting information out. But there may have been a possibility you couldn't return home that day due to air monitoring or something like that.
Some of the things that we're told to do, we kind of laugh at, but when the time comes, you don't have time like a meeting place, having a meeting place, making sure you have like certain supplies ready and at hand, simple as water.
Yeah, for sure. Being informed is so important, right? I mean, if you don't know, I mean, you have to know kind of what's happening and what your family's needs are.
Right. That's the easiest way to know ahead of time. Gosh, I can't go home today, or the kids are going to have to go someplace else, or there's a storm coming, so we want to pick up a little extra food or water.
You have a meeting place, having a meeting place. What do you mean by that?
Well, there can be a couple things. It could be as simple as, especially if you have kids in the house, if there's a fire, where do you want everybody to go outside when they leave the house? You don't want to be running around sort of scrambling, did everybody get out? Where are they at? It can also be if there is an event and you can't come home or something like that, to say, we're all going to go to this location. And then just throwing in, who are you going to contact? It can be an out-of-state person or something, to just, everybody calls in and then we know the whole family's safe.
What is Code Red?
So Code Red is Jackson County's emergency alert system that they use. The city of Jackson also uses it as well. And what's nice about that system is if there's an emergency, they can draw sort of a quadrant or so they only notify the people that are within the area of the hazard. So that helps make it more directed. You're not finding, if you live in Grants Lake, you're not finding out there's a problem in Concord. It's based on your addresses. And the other thing that's kind of neat with Code Red is they have a weather portion as well, and that actually works even when you're outside of Jackson County. So if you're within cell tower range where there's a tornado warning, it will come across on your phone and you'll be aware of that too.
Yeah, remember that big, the last storm we had, big severe thunderstorms came through. Everybody got a notification on their cell phone.
Yeah.
It's good to know we have that as part of our county emergency.
I think of of course the big storms we had and losing power. We want to check on our neighbors too. Of course, during that, our elderly neighbors. Some people, you have pets. You need to plan for that as well.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it, but during one of the power outages, internet was down too, and especially there's some seniors that rely on their home phone, and it's internet based.
Yeah.
And so even to just contact somebody if they were having some sort of medical emergency, they would have had a hard time.
Yeah, you see where the Hawaii fires, they take down the cell service. So
Yeah.
what would you have in like a kit, like a go bag that you can grab or keep in the car?
So a lot of what seems like the easy stuff, the food, the water, tools or supplies, you may want a little shovel during winter time or kitty litter if you're gonna get stuck, that type of thing. Another good thing to put in your go bag are those critical documents. And that's part of why I did these folders for staff, was so that they'd have a place to compile that. And that could be, we're talking about emergencies, so bad things that happen. But even if you were in a car accident, there may be somebody else in your family that needs to know your insurance information. And I know, I don't know that anybody else could walk into my house and find that very easily. To have those things compiled, or if you did have to evacuate and go someplace else, it would have all of your important documents together.
I don't know where one single important document of mine is.
Really?
My wife has them all.
Well, you should know where your passport is in
I
case
don't
you
have a
need to flee
passport.
the country.
I don't have a passport. I don't have a
So we've
passport.
got
I've never had a passport, believe it or not.
all these different, there's all these sections you
I
put
keep
together for
a
us.
Cliff Bar in mine, in my go bag.
I have Nature Valley granola.
Those are perfect.
But that really, water.
Yeah, blanket, flashlight, especially, you could be stranded in a car during a storm. You want to make sure you have those things in your car
Insurance
as well.
card,
Sure.
insurance
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
Prescriptions.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's always a bit of a challenge to make sure that you're caught up or ahead, because you can't always stockpile that as well. But especially with the weather events that we have, when we have often few days warning, an opportunity to go and refill. If you're going to be snowed in, you want to make sure you've got that. So.
Yeah, don't let your prescription get down to the last pill. Refill it ahead of time.
I do that too.
Yeah.
Just go to my chart.
That's right. Click the button.
I have one of those blue things with the,
With the days.
yeah.
Wow, you're getting old.
You will. You'll be there someday.
That's what they say.
And
That's what they say.
Are you there yet?
I use it when I go on vacation to put the vitamins.
Do
and
you
things like that.
have? Why don't you bring your little pill kit out and we'll poke through it?
I have two of them.
2 full.
Well, one for SD cards.
Oh.
They fit perfectly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So you're not using them all for pills, is what
No,
you're
they're
saying?
useful for other things.
Okay. All right. Of course, if anyone has any questions, they can always call the health department.
That's the nice thing about this. It's not just for us. You can put this together from all the resources you have on your website.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and a lot of those came from either Do One Thing, ready.gov, which is the federal preparedness site, and then Michigan has a MyReady, and there's a nice packet in there because it talks about the different hazards that are common in Michigan and things you might need to do. Do you know how to turn off your gas to your house? Do you, where the water shut off is if there's issues? It kind of helps remind you and put you in that situation and walks you through things you might do.
Yeah. It's one of the last things we probably think about, but it wouldn't hurt to sit down for 30 minutes with your family and just get this thing done.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one about the fire, I think everyone really needs to do that today. As if there is a fire in your place.
We have done that, but you need to refresh. You
And
need
practice,
Yeah.
a little bit of where or what might we do, so that the kids are aware too, what would be the process. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks for keeping us safe and prepared, and really everything that the health department does. It's amazing. I think Andy and I have both learned so much about how much the Jackson County Health Department does during the pandemic, and the
So
work
much more.
continues.
Yeah.
Stephanie Baker, Emergency Preparedness Coordinator with the Jackson County Health Department.
Thank
More
you.
of the morning show after this. Thank you.